Welcome back. Right. Now, with this little podcast episode, still going on with like the greatest cheats in motorsport, or not cheats, rule benders or rule twisters or loophole finders. We're going to go to one of the most clean cut organizations or people that we've seen. Now, they were one of the first guys to really have their cars painted nicely, looking really, really sharp all the time. Everyone, clean cut, shaven, smart, and that's Roger Penske's team. Again, now Roger's done a lot himself. He made the Zurich Special, which went on to Bush McLaren, which went to Canon, blah 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 blah, and everything that's gone on. But now, when he had Mark Donoghue as his main driver, now Mark Donoghue, who I have great respect for, as he went to college and he studied, and it wasn't just like now a lot of people come out of school, they're even in school, and that's it, they're professional. They don't really. But old days were different, and Mark Donoghue, really respect that he came out of school, studied, and then became a professional racing driver. Really well done. But he was a clever man. Now, in Trans Am, let's go there with Penske. In Trans Am, they were racing Camaros at the time. We're going to build Camaros to race. And now Trans Am was essentially, it's got to be, it's a uniform body car, not a chassis car. And the car's got to be made from stock parts, because it went on Sunday, sell on Monday was the motto. So if someone's, what they saw on the race cars, you got to be able to buy on Monday, on the road cars on Monday. And what now they had done is, through very clever math and equations and stuff, they took their cars, their Camaros, and dipped them in acid. The whole car, incredible. And they math calculations and stuff. If you leave it in for so long, it takes away that much material, and etc. etc. Now they did that, and the way it was found was very. They got caught out, but we'll get there. It goes along. They had to make a roll cage to hold the car together, because everything's so thin. So they really made a proper beefy roll cage. So they were actually keeping the cars together. And when people looked, they're like, "Hang on, but jeepers, that's a crazy roll cage." I mean, that very full thing. They said, "Oh yeah, we're worried. We want to keep the driver safe." Blah 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 blah. But what it came out, how they were caught out, that they had dipped the cars in acid. But again, a technical inspection, and a scrutineer was looking over the car and had a clipboard with a pen and paper on it. And he took it and put it on the roof of the car and looked at it. They finished the technical inspection, and he went to go pick up his clipboard, and he leaned on the roof and it caved in a bit. And they're like, "And now what's going on here?" And of course, no one knows anything. And how did that happen? Must be the sun making it hot. So, who knows? And like, yeah, of course, no one knows how it got so thin either. It's just small things, yeah, all the time. But later on, I mean, Penske had moved from the Camaro to JMC Javelin, which were, in my opinion, they weren't the prettiest cars around, but they're not bad looking. So now they were trying to find the advantage in that. Now they've done the acid thing, they've been caught out by that. They can't get it again. And so what they're going to do now? So firstly, they're looking around, and your brakes become a problem with big cars trying to stop them, long races and everything. So at that time, the Porsche 917 was the car. Yeah, it was the car to have. Winning Le Mans, winning all the races, everything. So, but the parts need to be stock. So Penske reads in the rule book and says that parts have to come from the factory, from a factory. Doesn't say what factory. He went to Porsche, bought got the calipers from the 917 cars. This is the same calipers that they're using there. Went to a a JMC dealership, gave it to them. They put a part number on it and sold it to him. There they are, and then he could use that. They put that on the car because now it's genuine JMC parts. Meanwhile, it's from a Porsche, from the 917s on the car. Distinct advantage right away. Now on the brake, along this lines with the brakes, that you got to they had to change brake pads, during races, and it can take time. It took lots of time. It wasn't like modern day now. And cars back then had brake boosters. So what Penske did is they got another brake booster and they put it inside the cockpit of the Javelin. They put it inside and they had a switch. Now a brake booster obviously creates a vacuum and helps the brakes, etc. What they did is they made a switch. So when the car comes in and they need to swap brake pads, the driver would flick a switch. The vacuum would pull the pads away from the rotor. That's freeing up the rotor, making it easy to drop pads in and take pads out. I mean, they took a pit stop from minutes to seconds. Leaps and bounds ahead of the competition there, and even ahead of the time. And I went along until that was stopped, because now it's unfair. But it was a genuine part from JMC, so it met that rule, and no one said they couldn't have it. But that was soon taken away. Another one was when they were dealing with fuel and refueling. So obviously, unlike a practice, they had a fuel drum or container, and they had just like 5 feet off the ground, and it was okay. And they plugged into the back of the car, and it filled very slowly. But and it wasn't done at the time, so the competition looked and were like, "What's on earth?" But it's not very fast. It's not working, so they didn't worry about it. Come race day, what Penske had done is they took the fuel drum, put it about 20 to 25 feet high up in the air. Now physics, if you know physics, the higher you go, okay, the more pressure is on fuel, on the liquid, it's going to flow faster, right? It's all, physics and maths and everything. And so what they did here is they took this, and when the pit stop came, this drum was now so high in the air that when they put it connected to the back of the car, it dumped all the fuel in as far, like crazy fast. I know Mark Donoghue, in his book, it is said, he does say that it was like, you could just feel this weight in the back of the car, like it just dumped everything at once, straight in. So incredible. And then that went on for races as well. But that went on for a few races, but other teams complaining because it's unfair, and then it was eventually banned because the officials said, "Oh, can blow over in the wind, and it's not fair," and blah 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 blah. But that was another loophole in the rules. That was another. If they're always just trying to find loopholes. All these lads, you take Spoke Unique, you take Penske, anyone. They are just of these stories, but anyone in racing is always trying to find loopholes in the rules. This is just some of the stories. If you've enjoyed this little bit of story on Roger Penske and loopholes and cheating, or finding how to get, as I said, finding loopholes in the rule books for racing, please like, subscribe, or comment, and let me know if you would like more. We'll see you soon.